doesn't have a benefit. Especially for me, I have 2 boys and I'm a woman and I act 100% like a woman. I can never teach my son how to be a man. Do you understand? So I take full accountability in that area. But however, I still felt, even though I couldn't teach my sons how to be men, being around a certain type of man wasn't good for them. Because even...
What, their father?
Being around certain type of men wasn't good for them, right?
Wow.
Because there's certain attributes you pick up, and I don't want my sons to be like that. Because I think the way I raise my kids now, I raise them as if the men I want them to become. So even already, they're 4 and 5, and I give them certain responsibilities, and they're very independent already. So the best I can do, I will do, but I do accept that I may not do enough for them to become the men I want them
Obviously,
to be.
I don't know your personal situation.
Yeah.
So obviously, I don't know why you would say that it's not right for children to be around their father. I can only assume that it's to their detriment. I would only assume that. I think generally, like you said, children need both parents.
Yeah, I agree.
And when it comes to like baby father, baby mother, just say confrontations. When it comes to children, 200 children per day are removed from their father's life via the family court system.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? And a lot of the time, it's because women have said certain things about the father, and now whether they're true or not, we don't know. But I feel like I see a lot of women in these days and times talking about their baby father and how bad he is, yet and still you kind of chose that.
So I would never speak bad about the father of my children to my children or to anyone where the public will hear. Whatever was my decision is between me and him. But like, for instance...
Did you decide to leave?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just because I think I even have more respect for him because I have kids with him. Just to respect my children, I will never disrespect their dad. So if my children, say if I was in an environment where maybe the father of my child was not there and my kids kept asking about their dad, I would say something like, he's busy at the moment, but when he's available, he'll come and see you. I'll never say, oh, your dad, he doesn't have time for you, blah, blah. I will never do that. Because it's not I'm not doing all of these things for you. I'm doing it for my kids. You know, I'm the kind of woman that if he doesn't want to speak to the kids, I would call him to speak to them. Because whatever issue we're going through has got nothing to do with them. They didn't come into this world based on problems. They came out of pleasure and love. Because when you have sex, obviously that's pleasure, right? So why would I give them anything but that? They have to be in a pleasurable environment and they have to feel love.
You guys keep talking about, choosing the man or, bad decisions when you're, making children, blah, blah, blah. But you're not acknowledging the fact that people change as well. The person that you had the baby with at that time may not be the same person in 2 years' time. So you have to also acknowledge that as well. It's not that they were a bad person when I chose to have my baby with them.
I don't think that any of your baby fathers were bad people.
Yeah, so
I do think they were weak. That's
you do think they were what?
I do think that they were weak.
Why?
Weak in what sense?
From a mentality perspective, it's there's too much nowadays around, oh God, like I can't afford it. Like if I have a kid, blah blah blah, whatever. There are a lot of women who step up to the plate, and decide to have a child. My mum being one of them. And so, like, my mum being one of them, and my dad, literally, he had to work stupid hours. He weren't making that much money. He had to make stupid hours to like, support me and my mum. They ended up splitting up, but it wasn't for financial reasons. It was just because of, it's just because of things. However, now, like back in the day, if a guy knew he was having a kid, he'd step up. We've got Uber, right? Most of us have a driving license. We can do that on the weekend, plus our full-time job. We got 9 months to prepare for that child, and we got 9 months to prepare for that child. Now, I don't know what happened in any of your relationships, but as soon as I find out that I've made a girl pregnant or something like that, I'm stepping up. Yeah, it's not even a thing, and that all comes from a strong mentality. That all comes from a strong mentality from developing yourself. And I know that I'm quite strong mentally, and I think that people who are quite weak say, nah, do you know what? Like, I'm not, like, I'm going to sack this off, or don't even give it a go.
So
do you know what I mean?
Do you think when you say people change, doesn't that kind of sound like an excuse?
No,
it's reality.
It's reality. It's not an excuse.
But people
Because-
used to change over 50-year marriages, and you can like it just sounds like an
But
excuse to me.
the change is not detrimental.
Exactly.
It's not. I'm not saying I disagree or agree with you, but if I think about my situation, I feel like one of the biggest problems us women have is we date potential. So you see a guy, you think, oh yeah, I really like him, da 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 da. But when I think about the issues in my marriage, the issues I had in my marriage are also the issues I had in my relationship. They were always there. They just became a lot more heightened when responsibilities increased. So I do think, as a woman, I don't think we realize the power we have on the path we can have. So I think if we took on that responsibility, I think we will make men a lot weaker in that element. So because right now it's like men are the prize, men are this, men are that, but in a way,
Really, I feel like they say women are the prize. Like
No,
women,
now
the
young men are the prize.
Female
No.
power.
So don't
Yeah.
you think men are the prize then?
No, I'm not. I think both parties are a prize in their own way.
Yeah.
But I feel like men get more praise now, and it's now or whenever. But I think they get more praise because it sounds mad because I want to say we've allowed them in a sense of we've given them that power. If we were to use our brains,
Okay.
and not as much, and me included.
What do you mean?
What-
We've
yeah.
given.
So
them
me
the power?
included, right? I've given people I've dated the power to have access to me, even though they may not be good for me. If I took it away, you don't have access to me. And I feel like,
You can be by yourself.
yeah, but should I be desperate and be hurt because I don't want to be by myself?
Right, but
I think that's
wouldn't you
very
say on
it's an
some
extreme
level? Wouldn't you
argument.
say on some level you kind of are what you attract? So if you keep attracting the certain type of guy, it says something about you.
To an extent, yes.
Yeah.
Because I think I was saying it to someone today that when I got divorced, the guys I attracted then to the guys I attract now are very different.
Okay.
Right? So I do think as human beings, we have to take responsibility for maybe how we carry ourselves, how we talk, all those things we do, every little thing.
I would say as well, and I'm just being realistic here. So when you did get divorced, you were a lot younger, right?
Yeah.
And
I was
now you are a
27.
bit older. The amount of so the pool of the men that you are going to attract with two boys, it's going to be a lot less.
I've never dated a guy who's got kids. I've never dated a guy who's not wealthy. I think I've even got a better pool now than I had when I was younger.
Right,
And what's happened?
But it doesn't count unless you have a ring. Like anyone can deal with a rich guy.
Yeah,
No,
Like,
it's not-
like, we only
date
count
you.
in- yeah, we
yeah,
only
I would
count-
date you, but I would never wife you.
That's your opinion. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Right. Well, but it's like based on results. So like on this show, we only count engagements.
Okay, that's
And
fine.
like a guy gets on a knee and proposes to
Yeah.
you.
So for me, especially us being on our pod and the comments we get, I've realized people's opinions don't matter anymore. I think it's what I'm living that matters. So if I say, oh, I want to be with a certain type of guy, or I want to do this, I want to do that. If I'm not living that, I need to sit down and think about how am I going to actually get what I want. Or Grace, you're not going to get that because for some reason it's not working. Do you get what I mean? I don't really do statistics anymore because I feel like it's not good for me.
So
What do you feel like do you feel like statistics don't matter to you or something?
It's nice to hear. That's it.
So I'll say, okay, so statistically, what do you think that a divorced mother of two on the dating market right now in her, 30s?
I'm 30, yeah.
Right, so what do you think? Do you think that there are guys now out there who are young suitors with a lot of money thinking that's exactly what I want? I want a divorced mother of two as my as my next wife.
Not
Would you say that they're
I'll
generally
be,
looking
I'll
for
be
that?
in
No.
denial if I said yes. No, I don't think that's what
Right.
they're looking for. However, my life doesn't tell me that.
it seems like your suitors are quite decent, right? So we're talking no kids, wealthy.
I can date a guy that's got kids so long as he's got full responsibility. But that's why I said I also understand why another guy may not want to date me. I'm acceptant of that now. Like I'm not in denial.
Yeah.
I think, oh yeah, I can get this. I know it may be harder for me to get that, but I'm okay with that. I'm not going to drive myself crazy and feel like getting married is the be all and end all. Happy for me.
Let me
Happiness
land. Yeah. So they seem like decent suitors. Like they've got money and stuff like that. Why do you think you haven't been like? You haven't been
Able to get married.
Wifed.
wifed up. Why do you think you haven't been wifed up
So
yet?
I feel like I've only just grown up. That's the honest. I've only just grown up.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. So
that's
it's
the
more to do
hon-
with you.
I think
Okay,
so.
all
I
right,
think so.
yeah, yeah.
I've only just grown up. I've only just realized what I really want, right? And I don't think I was as desirable then as I am now.
Oh, okay. All right.
In my mind, because men talk about, or you guys, or everyone talks about, there's so many girls out there. But if you're looking for quality men, in my opinion, there's a certain mind frame you want the woman to have as well, and there's not that many of them.
There's not that many quality women.
I don't know. There's a new girl turning 22 every day.
Yeah, that's fine. There's a bad bee down the road every day.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not disputing that, right? But I still think some of them, their brains are not all the way up.
The fact of the matter is, and I love the fact that you've like fully accepted this. The fact of the matter is that I'm gonna look at it from my perspective. Let's say, for example, I get older, I've got no kids, right, and I get no kids, and my wealth goes up. The chances of me wifing up a girl with two kids from like a baby father that, like, obviously I don't think
an ex-husband.
An ex-husband or whatever and stuff like that, and like that's just not a situation I'd want to put myself in.
So when you look at me, do I look like I'm a mother or I look like I've been divorced? No. So basically, most of the guys I speak to, it's from because it's from.
What makes you think that you don't look like a mother?
Because I don't let myself go. I feel like some of the time people let themselves.
Yeah, but here's the thing: every kid minuses you 2 points. So let's say.
Do we look like mothers? I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, I can tell your mothers.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not trying to tell.
No, we don't get offended.
Yeah, I'm not trying to.
How can you tell?
Huh?
How can you tell?
You look like.
Put together.
Hurt?
Put together?
No, it's not even that.
It's
not even that. So Amanda, like, you can be on like dating apps and you could look at. She's like, yeah, she's got a kid. Like you can tell sometimes. You be on dating apps. You be like, yeah, she's got a kid.
Can you tell that?
Yeah. You can tell. I've been around the block. Like, you can tell.
You're saying it's like a badge of honor that you look like you don't have one.
No, because I think.
You know what I mean? Like you're wearing it as a badge of honor that I don't look like I have.
I think the point she was trying to make is, if you look at her and she doesn't look like a mother, if a guy approaches her, it's a genuine conversation.
And it's from
there's
there.
one sure way to look like a mother when you're pushing your pram down the street.
I don't push my pram.
I'm just saying, like, how else would you know someone's a mother?
Ultimately,
no, exactly. That's the point I'm getting at.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm getting at.
But at some point you have to tell them, and even as a girl,
100%.
Yeah, but I'm saying even as a girl, like if I hear a guy has kids, I'm like skirt. So it's like even if I find him attractive at first, I'm 25.
Okay, yeah. See, that changes everything for me.
Well, it changes for women. But I'm saying like men, they can't help. They're biologically predispositioned to not want to put resources into another guy's kids. Mm-hmm. Like even in the wild, what do they do when they get the other girl? They kill the cubs.
Yeah. Lions literally lions literally do that. And look, I've got a stepfather. Like, I get it. Like, I completely understand it. I'm just saying, like, don't be like, oh, I don't look like I've got kids. You look like you've got kids. Like, you look a little bit older, and it's not even looking at it from that standpoint.
I don't care.
But it's not. Yeah, you're beautiful. You're beautiful women, regardless. I don't even know why you'd like look.
So
at
I don't care that I look like I have a child.
Then why would you bring it up?
She didn't. I did.
Oh, okay. They're not all the same person.
But I only brought it up based on what you said. Like I said, especially doing our pod and stuff like that, I'm very acceptant of my situation. Mm-hmm. I don't, in the most polite way, I don't need you guys to tell me what I can and cannot get, right? Because at the end of the day, whether you advise me from today to tomorrow, it's not you I'm going to be with. It's not you that's going to give me what I want.
When you say what you can and cannot get, what is it that you want? What is it that you want to get? Could you just, like, what is it that you want to get?
One thing I do know I want is I want to be happy. And I want to be in a realistic relationship.
Want to be happy, but what is it
I want to be in a realistic relationship.
Realistic.
When guys hear that, like, oh, I want to be happy, it signals a lack of loyalty to men, because it basically says, like, you're going to leave the second you're not happy.
I wasn't even, so anyone that knows me knows I'm a rider. Mm-hmm.